Wow, this is like so prophetic. It's so like I'm listening to the song. I don't think you can hear it. It's on MTV because I love listening to the MTV classics because it reminds me of the 80s. And they usually play the 90s Nation, which is in my 20s. But sometimes I'll play like 80s stuff. But yeah, Rod Stewart's playing that song about young hearts, be free tonight. Time is on your side. And it may not be the right lyrics because I didn't look at the lyrics back then, but it's really, really very appropriate for right now because lately, last couple days, since I've been like expecting my period like anytime or feeling like I'm gonna get my period anytime, but it's not happening. I'm like so afraid that whatever I'm gonna be doing, whatever I do, whether what I eat or something is going to then trigger it. But this is what I've noticed from other people who are fertile or who had trouble getting pregnant or had miscarriages and finally it took. It was a significant event, whether it was an accident or whether it was a diagnosis of a disease that triggered fertility, that triggered pregnancy. And so I'm looking at right now, I'm at, I would say 100% health. Now, yeah, I still have a few white hairs in my head, but I guess my body doesn't deem that as anything, important or really anything to worry about. And so I'm looking at if I were to ever get my period, that's like your insurance policy. So all of you that have your period right now, if my theory is correct, and my theory is, just so those of you who don't know what my theory is, that I'm actually proving right now with my dog and myself, is that periods or menstruation is a sign of a body on a death trajectory. Now, you could trigger menopause because there has been an attack on your reproductive system that would cause you to be sterile, where you cannot bear children, and you could still be living. And, menopause is still sickness. It's just that you have an interruption in your reproductive system, but yet your body's still alive, but you are still on that death trajectory because you have so many other mutations, right? For you to trigger menopause, you obviously have to have certain mutations. And I know people have triggered menopause early on and are on a death trajectory. Okay, so my whole theory is that if you trigger menstruation, it means the body had some crazy significant event that said, okay, you're going to be, you're on a death trajectory. We're going to allow eggs to drop, only eggs, right? If you're not regenerating your body at a massive level to then eventually just stop menstruation. But they will give you so many eggs. Your body will give you so many eggs if you're on a death trajectory. And that will give you time enough to inseminate those eggs and raise a baby. And you're going to be around long enough to raise a baby. That's why these kids that are getting, menstruation at a very early age, they have plenty of time to have a child, but their lifespan is going to be cut short. Because the earlier you have your period, it means that most likely you're on that trajectory, unless you do something completely different. But even then, people do stuff completely different and still get their periods and then eventually trigger menopause. So menstruation is the body saying, okay, we know that you're going to be dying. You're not going to be around. We don't want extinction to happen in the human race. So that is why they, the eggs drop. People feel a certain way. They feel amorous and they start looking for a husband, looking for a mate, looking for a significant other, whoever it is. And then that's when the procreation happens. Obviously, it doesn't happen all the time because some people can't do that for whatever reasons. And for obvious reasons I'm not going to go into because they're political. So, but the body still has that feeling. Okay. So now where I'm at, I made, like yesterday, I made cupcakes from Angel Food Cake, right? I'm thinking like, okay, so what am I going to do? I wrote some stuff for my book. I know Kevin's writing his stuff and he's looking at it and everything and asking me questions, and that's fine. We'll go over it later, I'm sure. And then I'm like, okay, what else am I going to do? Okay, so yeah, planning stuff or whatever. And I was like, oh, I'm going to make some cupcakes or something. And I haven't really done any too much baking. And so I ate like maybe 2 cupcakes. It's like Angel Food Cake. And I made some frosting, and it really was just, it's whipped cream with raspberries and cream cheese and sugar. And I ate two of those. Something like, you think sugar would trigger, something. And, I know I ate the cupcakes, but guess what I did? I followed it up with my juice. And so, yeah, and then I had a few accidents last night in bed. So I had to go and take care of some stuff because I was drinking my juice right after I ate those cupcakes. I drank a bunch of it just to offset it. I probably didn't have to. I'm thinking for me to trigger my period, if my period doesn't come by December, then for me to trigger my period, it would have to be a significant event. Let's say a car accident, okay? Or something, not even a car accident. Something would have to happen. Like my diet would have to completely change. I'd have to probably get like vaccines or something else, or a major dose of hormones, which means that I would have, if I ate meat, because hormones does trigger menstruation. I mean, they use hormones to trigger fertility, right? When people go to IVF, they're getting massive amounts of hormones in their body. So I haven't been eating red meat. Now I eat chicken and they're antibiotic free, hormone free chicken, but eating beef has those hormones, which then makes me wonder, oh, that's what's probably triggering people's menstruation. And so I'm not going to be eating. Now, I know people are like, I don't want to eat beef because it's political, but I'm not going to eat beef or anything like that at all because I don't want that flux of hormones. Now, I'm sure that if I drank my juice, it would offset that and purge out those extra hormones. But actually, I haven't been really that hungry lately anyways. I have that big bowl of that vegetable, those raw vegetables that I will stir fry. I have a little bit of sesame oil and I'll stir fry it in sesame oil and eat that as a hot meal and then eat the raw, version of that stir fry because there's no meat in it. I don't need any meat in it. And I'll eat it cold if I want to have a snack. I mean, it's a great versatile type of food source. And then I followed up with my juice to energize it all. Yeah, I'll go make some cupcakes. I'll eat like 2 cupcakes, but that's it. And I don't go overboard. So it's like, now I'm thinking like if I did eat a piece of meat, if it was a piece of red meat, I'm sure my digestive system would be able to handle it. It would be able to purge out. Well, hold on a second. I did have wedding soup yesterday. That's right. So I went to the store when I got those cupcakes because I went and took some stuff to the mail. And the wedding soup had those little tiny meatballs in there, which I'm sure had hormones in it. But I followed up with my juice. But still, even so, I really don't want it. I don't need a big thing of meat anyways. I mean, I haven't even eaten a whole steak, maybe little tiny pieces of little bits when people barbecue. But no, I mean, nah. I would not eat a whole steak. I wouldn't go to the Outback or something and order a steak. So I'm not going to do that. But I really see that the milk now cream. Now I'm using whipped cream. It has probably hormones in it. But I'm taking my juice. So it's like one of those things where it probably, what would trigger menstruation would be the massive amount of hormones. And I know kids that are in mainstream kids that are drinking milk with their cereal and they're eating McDonald's and they're eating all the fast foods. They're getting mass amounts of hormones in their body, which is most likely probably triggering them. And then of course the vaccines, we know about that, triggering their menstruation and their development at a very early age, as well as behavior problems. It's not just menstruation. It's behavior problems because they're getting an imbalance of hormones and they already have mutations in their body. And then, their whole life is now cattywampus and their behavior issues. So that is interesting. And I'm still drinking coffee because I like coffee. I'm not addicted. I just like the taste and it's not affecting me. And I don't feel at all like, weighed down. I don't feel bloated. I don't feel like there's any dip in my health at all. Because that is what I knew as to be sickness for me once a month, was the fact that I knew I was going to get my period at least a week or 2 before. And life would change for a few days, as well as for everybody else around me, because I would be a lot more triggered. You think I'm triggered today? Oh my God, you should have seen me 2 or 3 years ago. Sometimes I'd have to stay away from people because it would just be that bad. But that was my excuse too, just to kind of be on my own and just relax, because between the times that I wasn't on my period and before my 2 weeks before, I would be working like a little busy beaver, getting stuff done because I knew I would be falling out a week or so before my next period. So, but no, everything now is, from what I've seen, you know, I've seen my period just taper off as well, not period, but the PMS and PMDD symptoms start tapering off to now it's like non-existent, to where I'm not getting my period at all. It's been October 20th. So if you guys just tuned in, just, you know, getting on board with what I'm doing, I haven't had my period since October 20th. And that was still 8 days early than it was supposed to be, because prior to that was September 28th. So then I got October 20th going like, why am I getting 8 days early? This is so weird, right? And then now it's December 5th. And if it was just a fluke that I had my period 8 days early, then it's like still 3 days before I would have received it if I still was on that same schedule of the 8th. And nope. So I don't know, you know, it's crazy. So, you know, and I'm not looking for anyone to speculate either. So yeah, the whole thing with time, right? There was that one video I put on my Facebook about time. When you stop the aging process, it's like every time then doesn't really mean too much. Time and aging is a construct in the matrix. It really is. And Lily Lynn, who is amazing, she really put it very well. And I'm going to find that. Hold on. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, actually, I'll just go to my Facebook. What a day. What a week. What a month. All right, come on. Gotta love how. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. So it's this post that I have, and it says, what if the past, present, and future all exist at once? You probably can't see this. Okay, and it's a little video, and the guy is explaining it, right? What if the past, present, and future exist all at once? Somebody put, ooh, deja vu. I deleted him because I don't need anybody trying to like explain it through the matrix language. I don't need anything like that. I don't want anybody trying to use mainstream definitions or mainstream explanations in response to anything that I post, because that's when I totally just delete and block people, because I don't need those type of haters. Okay, so what she wrote was, that is why the end of times is now. False time grids are collapsing as soon as a biochemistry is balancing out. The way the brain functions, the natural perception of time is getting installed, activated. The 24 hours, 60 minutes. Timeline was installed on purpose. Obviously, the ability to grasp a shift goes viral now. It is about time. Laugh out loud. That was a pun. That is so deep, because now I got nothing but time. People who are aging fast in the matrix, drinking, eating whatever the hell they want, having zero care about their body as well as their future. Guess what? They're racing against time. They're trying to get everything in before they die. And you never know, they may trigger something pretty quick considering the mutations they are dealing with. So, hey, that's fine. You know, if you want to race against time and that's what your life is about, is living life to the moment, to where when you leave this earth, you've had amazing experiences for maybe 60 years, if that, because people are dying sooner. But no, when you actually finally get your biochemistry level and everything is working the way it's supposed to, then you can actually sit back and relax and enjoy life. You can still eat some of the naughty foods, but you're not going to be waking up in pain. You're not going to be wondering when that disease is going to trigger, because you know it's in your family background. I mean, it's no wonder alcoholism runs in families, because it gets passed down, and those practices are then exhibited by the next generation. And guess what? You know, it creates a shortened life. Though you're like, well, I see these drug addicts, these alcoholics seem to be living a while. Oh, they're living, right? You know, the more sexual people are, the more they're on that death trajectory. So just understand there is a correlation to sexuality and the death process. And those two go hand in hand. So don't let people say that being sexual is a healthy thing, because that's actually very opposite of the truth. Okay, and we have people in the group saying, well, you know, vasectomies, is that deferens thing is going to grow back? Hey, anything that's done to you in the system, whether it's under local anesthesia or a general anesthesia or even a procedure, you have the ability to reverse that if you understand how cells generate and the blueprint of your body. So, you know, I mean, I'm listening to this MTV stuff, and I'm listening to all these classics. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, 80 years from now, 90 years from now, what's going to be, you know, deemed as classic? And it's not going to be my music. It's like, I'm going to watch the life that I experienced from back when I was a kid disappear. And I'm going to be seeing classics from probably this day and age. And I don't even know the music this day and age, because I don't even listen to pop music. I don't even listen to the radio. So it's going to be almost like foreign to me in the next 50 or 60 years when they're playing MTV classics. I mean, who knows? But everything else I'll understand. Everything else I can pretty much predict. So all of you are going to be in that same boat should you stay on the protocol. You'll be seeing a completely different world, different everything. And it's well worth it. I mean, the pain really is well worth it. No pain, no gain. Pain is healing. Da, da, da. You know, you hear everything about pain, right? But I'll tell you what, where I am at today, I would not trade it for the world. I would not go back to where I was 2 or 3 years ago, 5 years ago, for the freaking world. If anything, if any more drama comes up surrounding Jilly Juice, I am so prepared for it. And I'm ready to fight whatever I need to fight. Whatever fight I need to fight, I will fight it. Not that I'm going to be getting into any fights, but people don't understand that I got all the time in the world. They don't. I got right on my side. I got time on my side. I got so many things on my side. People won't know what they're up against. And that's totally available for all of you. Like, seriously. Because I'm not racing against time anymore. But some people are. And it shows. Some people are racing against time. Trying to get their last little bit of drink in, their last little bit of experience in. Hey, great. When you see your friends off traveling, right, and they're aging rapidly, they're trying to get their last little shit in before they pass away, because they know it's going to come quick. And those of you who are staying home trying to take care of yourself, living hand to mouth because, yeah, you're sort of broke, that's okay. Because eventually you're going to get to a point where you're going to be doing something majorly strategic, and then you'll be making money, and and then you'll be traveling and doing whatever the hell you want to do. That's within the law. And you won't have to wonder, oh, it's just be a once in a lifetime trip. No, you're going to have all the opportunity in the world. But you just got to work for it. You got to wait. Don't get influenced by the people who are racing against time. Because, you know, believe me, they need to go and get those once in a lifetime trips in, because they don't have too much time on this planet. And the more that you live so hard, so fast, the shorter your time is. So play it cool for those of you, you know, that are like wanting to have it all before they have their body the way it's supposed to be. You have plenty of time for that. Plenty. If you're alive, you have every access to stop time in a way. Every access. But whether or not you want to go through that process is going to be the difference. And not everybody can. because not everybody has that mentality to do it, or it's all political to them because of whatever I may have said in the past that triggered them politically wise. But hey, you know what? I've made mistakes and I was going through my own healing process. Oh, believe me, I know that I rub a lot of people the wrong way. And if you truly understand and believe in where I'm coming from, it won't affect you in how it is I deliver. When I tell people, please don't private message me, and they still do it, and then I block them for that, maybe, because I'll unblock, even as far as a private messenger. And they get all pissy and whatever. Hey, then I guess you don't understand that people have requests, they have boundaries. You just crossed a boundary. I'm going to hold you accountable. That should not be a surprise. But yeah, I mean, but believe me, I know that I was acting crazy 2 years ago when I was getting under attacks. I know it. But it should all be forgiven if you truly understand where I'm coming from and what it is I'm actually giving to you and bestowing upon you, okay? All should be forgiven. And usually I will apologize if I do come off really, because I'll look back or people tell me, like, okay, that was a little fucking harsh, Joy. Like, oh yeah, you're right, it was. But it's where I was at. It was by biochemistry at the time. Not saying it justifies bad behavior, but hey, we all have bad days. We all get stressed out. Imagine trying to deal with 60,000 people a couple years ago. And then everybody attacking me and the Ohio Attorney General questioning me and Dr. Phil, you know, airing that. And everybody's like, you know, nobody is going to be, you know, always diplomatic about how they approach stuff. But as long as you're always striving to do better, then, you know, it's no big deal. So yeah, time, young hearts means that you keep doing the Jilly Juice. You keep regenerating your cells. You keep reversing all of your illnesses, whatever they are, repairing the damaged and broken, you know, cells and bones and whatever else. I know, Lori, oh my God. I would never go back there ever again. You keep doing all that, you will see an amazing opportunity. And I can't even explain to you what it's going to be for you guys. You know, my life hasn't completely changed as far as just, you know, my husband still drives a truck. We're not fighting as much, I'll tell you that much. My dog is, you know, I thought she would go into estrus, right? No, you know, she went through her healing symptoms relative to whatever her genetic mutations were for a pit bull. And she had a week of where it's like, she had itchiness. She had a week of pain in her back legs because hip dysplasia is prevalent. Just go to, I'll find that. That's fine, Christine. Go to, but hip dysplasia is prevalent in animals. So when you give your animal Jilly Juice, they're going to go through the healing symptoms and they're going to come out the other side. They're going to come out the other side. Hold on, I will. And then they won't go into estrus because they're going to be the best copy. They're not going to want to have babies. They're not going to be, you know, dropping seeds or anything. And so my dog is going to be the best copy. She's going to be amazing forever, which means that, you know, I got to make sure her and I stick around together and I got to make sure she's taken care of. So no matter what kind of changes happen with me, I got to make sure that she's okay, because people usually plan, well, oh yeah, the dog's going to probably die in the next 10 years and I'm not getting another dog after that. No, it's not going to be that. Once I get an animal, it's for life. Those of you that are on the Jilly Juice and you want to get a pet, it's for life. This is not something, anyone that gets a pet and doesn't give them Jilly Juice, you know, and keeps them around, makes you wonder. Pets are not disposable. They are for life. And my dog is for life. Even if life does change, which potentially it could, I'll have to make sure that that's figured out. But that's looking way down the future. But I'll find that later. I won't do that right now. All right. But yeah, young hearts, be free tonight. Time is definitely on your side. It really is. It really is. And now when you have nothing but time, you're just like, oh my God. But then it's everybody else's time that you have to deal with. All of their concerns and all of their like freakouts. That's why the whole activism thing doesn't appeal to me anymore, because they're all worried about time. When you get your insides all figured out, then you have all the time is on your side. You don't have to worry about the chemtrails or the 5G or anything else, because you know you're going to live And despite all of that, that's what's so amazing. And so, yeah, people that freak out and they were trying to pressure you to do something that quick and this, and yeah, there are some deadlines or some things that you have to get done. And that's why, you know, being proactive is also paramount, because that way you can make sure that you plan for anything that does go awry, because you are dependent upon other people to get things done too. It's not just me trying to get my taxes. Hey, you know, what happens if the mailman or somebody, you know, something happens to the mail to get my taxes, or happens if my CPA has an issue or whatever, right? So when you are dealing with the general public who is racing against time, you got to also play with that and know when you need to step up your game, and when you're like, okay, I can go relax now. So it's like, it's almost really weird. What do I do with my time now that I'm not activisming, whatever? I'm not playing activist. I don't have any religion I need to go and proselytize. You know, my website is basically handled. Oh my God. It's, you know, then, yeah, I'd write in the book, but I mean, Kevin's doing amazing with part of that. I mean, I got pretty much everything I needed to say. And then Kevin's doing the rest of that research that, you know, he wants to expound upon. So, you know, what would I do with my time now, right? So, yeah, so I've been cooking, I've been baking, I've been going on the internet occasionally, not trolling, but dropping seeds. It's, I don't know, we'll see. And I know next year is going to be busy, because we're going to have another book come out, and then it's going to be marketing that, I'm sure. So right now it's like I'm in this weird space of just super relaxation. Like, I've handled all the legal stuff. I got my LLC going. You know, this is exactly where I want to be right now, today. You know, there is no tomorrow, there is no yesterday, there really is just now. Every single waking moment is now. And what you do today is going to be amazing in the next couple minutes. Because, yeah, time is definitely a construct. It really is. So, yeah, and I will post that quote. So, yeah, for those of you just tuning in, you really should do the Jilly Juice. I know it's painful. I know it's not going to be fun. And you're like, oh, do I believe it? I've been on her page for like years now, but I haven't done it yet. And I'm still tuning in. Why have I not done it? Am I your entertainment? Is that what it is? I mean, you've seen me from back then to now. You must be a little bit intrigued. Hey, Hector. Yeah, it's an LLC. So yeah, I mean, so those of you that are still sitting on your hands on the fence, time ain't on your side if you're sitting on the fence in the Matrix. You are racing against time. Okay? So I would suggest, before you get into hospice, before you guys trigger hospice, maybe you should do the juice. It will work if you don't believe it. So do the, yeah, absolutely, Kevin, or Lori. And Kevin, yes. Yeah, public speaking. I mean, yes, I look forward to all of that, and I will be practicing that. And, you know, I got all of the crazy infrastructure out of the way and all the legality stuff out of the way. And now it's just really getting the word out. It really is. You know, and I am like the idea man, as well as, you know, I mean, I can do some administrative stuff, but really, you know, there are people that are way stronger than that. Like Kevin's very good. And Kevin also is an idea man too. But, you know, we're working together, but he's definitely very strong in the writing. So, and I'll be good at editing, because I can edit and figure out, you know, if we need to tweak a word because it says one thing or does something different, you know. So we'll see. I think we're going to be an excellent team, myself and Kevin and Bridget. So yeah, I'm very, very pleased. And as far as the website, okay, I know I have a one mod, yeah, and she's a great team too, Lillian. And I think if the website ever does get does pick up, right now it really only deserves an hour a day. It really does. It's not any more than that. Then yeah, I mean, there's Lori and there's Stephanie that if and then I know Lillian has people in her world that'll help out as well. But right now the website just doesn't warrant more than one person. I mean, it's just myself and Lillian really managing it. Kevin will come in and do stuff, but yeah, it really, you know, so that's kind of the construct of what's going on right now. And we finally figured out the reality of what the website is going to produce. And now we're now on this really awesome trajectory. And we just got to keep staying the course. Excuse me, Jesus. It's the morning. So I need to like probably do like some major voice exercises before I ever speak, right? Because I'll be doing this froggy throat type of stuff. But yeah, so all right. Well, I'm gonna go figure out what to do with my day today. It's like, it's crazy the amount of stuff that I've accomplished. It's insane. And Lori, you got to send me your address. Send me an email with your address. Okay, I sent you an email too, but I don't think you got it. But send me with your address. And then yeah, y'all, have an amazing day, okay? Drink the juice. Like seriously, hold on, I'm gonna go blow my nose. Drink the juice, you know, drink as much as you can in a short amount of time. Get your waterfalls, pick a time out of your day that you know you'll have at least 3 or 4 hours right after you drink the juice to go and poop. Some of you may need 5 hours. You're going to have healing symptoms relative to what you dealt with in the past, present, as well as probably future triggers. Stay on the diet. But if you can't stay on the diet, that's okay. Drink a lot of the juice, but really stay on the diet. And, you know, and then if you have addictions, let's say you have a major coffee addiction and you have to go to work, that's fine. If you have a major drug addiction, okay, fine. Do what you got to do, okay? You will eventually change your biochemistry to where your addictions are not going to be so pronounced. Some of you are super addicted to alcohol. That's okay. Still do the juice. Eventually, you're not going to have those cravings for alcohol. But some of you have so much candida and parasites that alcohol right now is keeping you alive. So, but do the juice. My book will tell you exactly how to manage your healing symptoms using the juice. But some of you are in pain and you need to use some kind of pill. Okay, I understand, because you have to go to work or you have to deal with something, and then do the juice. I mean, we know there's going to be overlap with the allopathic and the holistic industry with my juice. I'm trying to separate the two, but I get it. It's like any addiction. You don't want to quit cold turkey. You got to transition. So the transition is there, and some people don't need the allopathic and the holistic world. And so they can quit cold turkey from essential oils or whatever it is that they're doing, because they finally figured out, you know, a few years ago that the holistic industry is just another market of the allopathic industry, you know, so they can give up their supplements and all of that. So the transition to just doing Jilly Juice is that much easier. But some people are psychotropically addicted. And some of those drugs like benzos are so strong that you don't want to get off them. Some of you are super alcoholics. You don't want to quit alcohol, you know, cold turkey. Some of you just have a lot of different things that are going on and you need to smoke your pot because your anxiety. I get it. Well, do the juice. Okay. So just know that eventually your biochemistry will change. It is going to be a transition. And I remember when I got the worst yeast infections, because that was what my plague was back when I was 19. And I was getting those recurring ones through my healing symptoms. And I was putting apple cider vinegar up there. Oh, it was so bad. So you're so lucky I'm not telling you to use apple cider vinegar up your coochie, okay? It was bad. So I went through my own experimentation phase, so that way you don't have to use the juice. So I've done a lot of research to tell you to know, so that way you don't have to go through the pain or the torture of trying to figure out what to do. Okay, so this is going to be so much easier for all of you once you understand that, yeah, there's going to be a certain amount of pain. You can't escape it, but at least it's manageable. And at least you'll know how to plan for it and you'll know what to expect. It's not going to be like this new thing. Right now, I'm forging a new frontier, wondering if I'm going to get my period. That's a new frontier. But somebody's got to forge that, right? To tell you, hey, okay, this is what's going on. This is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm doing. Pay attention, because that's what you're going to be shooting for. Now, for the men, it's going to be basically non-sexuality. You're not going to be a eunuch. You still have working penis, but you're not going to be thinking about sex 24/7, because that's a suffering. When you're thinking about sex all the time, or you're thinking about food all the time, or your drug all the time, and you're working to go get it and you're trying to find it, when you're a pleasure seeker, that is suffering, because what there's pleasure, there's non-pleasure. So if you're pleasure seeking all the time, or adrenaline, seeking all the time, that's a suffering. I don't want anybody to suffer. But listen to, where I'm coming from, because that's going to be what you're going to be shooting for. And so, I want all of us to finally reach that pinnacle, that ultimate feeling, to where you don't have to chase that high anymore, because you're now, you're going to be maintaining the high. Because that's part of where my fear is right now. I'm like, oh my God, am I going to do something that's going to trigger my period? But no, I mean, hey, 5G isn't here yet, but I'm not even worried about 5G. I mean, I'm next to an oil refinery, next to a freeway, next to a truck yard. I have Wi-Fi. Yeah, I have a few organites, but I don't measure to see how many parts per million of radiation I had prior to having this. So I don't even know if this even works. It may or may not. There's no way to freaking know. But I definitely do see businesses thriving from the fear of, radiation. Have 1 million organite line your whole house. No different than wearing tinfoil, right? So, yeah, I mean, you keep your insides amazing using the salt, the cabbage, and the water, and the nutrients, and the electrolytes. You're not going to worry about having to avoid. You'll be able to walk through a crowd of killers with a smile. I got that from a book that I was reading a while back, Chinese horoscopes. The monkey personality is able to walk through a crowd of killers with a smile. So yeah, I can walk through a crowd of killers with a smile, because I'm impervious to whatever death rays that are coming at me. Now, yeah, if someone took a laser beam from like direct energy weapons, then yeah, okay. But no, for the most part, the 5G is not going to affect me. The 4G doesn't even affect me. My own Wi-Fi in the house, the smart meters don't even affect me. But yeah, people are all flipping out. Now, I understand with the whole thing with the fires and how they probably were triggered because of the fires. I can see that. But over here in Ohio, we don't have that kind of environment that California does. I mean, the thing that I got to worry about is my husband plugging in all of his batteries and whatever else he's doing for his CB radio and hope he doesn't blow the house up. But he knows what he's doing. Okay. All right. I'm going to do my thing. I'm just thinking, remember that show, that movie, the Stepford Wives, and she was baking and had all of this breakfast items, and it was like a big, huge table of a cornucopia of like everything. That's what I feel like doing. I feel like just baking a whole bunch of stuff. Because I love watching the Great American Baking Show, and it's done in Britain. That's right, Kevin. That's right. No fear, Bluetooth. Yes, Christine, impervious. But yeah, I love watching these baking shows. Maybe my next life, I think I'm going to be a baker. When everything is said and done, and I get myself where I want to be financially and whatever else, and my husband too, because like he's got to get well. He's got a road ahead of him if he really wants to do this. But I think I'm going to be a baker. I'm going to be a baker, because I just love watching those shows and watching all of the chemistry behind baking. And it tastes so good. And remember, you guys eventually will be able to eat the pastries, the white sugar. It's okay. I see people posting, "Oh, stay away from white sugar." What? So you think honey is better? No, you can have white sugar. It's just in moderation, and then you follow it up with my juice. Yeah, Lord. Yeah, I mean, don't when see there are things that you stay away. What would you, it's like right now, what would I stay away from? Well, I would be reticent around the whole meat. I would be reticent around the whole like red meat. So I would probably avoid red meat. And I would probably avoid all of those herbal teas and those detox teas that they're doing, like the turmeric and all that stuff. I would avoid the kombuchas and the alcohol. But as far as white sugar, you don't have to avoid that. You don't have to avoid brown sugar. There's very little that you really have to avoid. The main things I avoid is alcohol, kombucha. I do have a little bit of vinegar, not apple cider, but like, you know, like balsamic vinegar with my vegetables sometimes, like a tiny bit. But there really is not that much you need to avoid once you get to this point, because you'll know how to balance it. And then already the diet, and then my whole thing around the diet of why no herbs and no detoxes and spices, then you'll understand what are positive elements and what are negative elements. Oh yeah, and shellfish too, yeah. And then that way, when you know that you're gonna, you know, when you make a food that you eat daily, you're not gonna have like, you know, 5 cups of onions and like 1 cup of cabbage. That wouldn't make sense. So you'll understand balance. You'd have maybe, you know, a tablespoon of onions and 1 cup of cabbage. You'll understand how to season your food accordingly, which then will fit in with the same model as the elemental composition of the human body. Because your first 9 elements are the main elements that your body needs. And then the last, the trace minerals, and the trace minerals is what your body also needs, but doesn't need it in that amount of dosages that people are taking those negative elements. People are taking colloidal silver and all of those different detoxes, zeolite and clay and diatomaceous earth, as if it was like oxygen or water, and that's why they're all messed up. So yeah, it's insane, but it's about chemistry. It's about chemistry. So anyways, but yeah, you don't have to avoid. Now, I don't go actively eating pork. I don't go actively eating bacon. Occasionally I'll eat some bacon here and there. I won't go actively make shrimp. I know my husband loves shrimp, but I don't make shrimp. I don't buy any shellfish or any red meat, or occasionally bacon, but I don't buy pork in this house. The only thing that I buy is chicken thighs or chicken breasts, and that's it. So my husband gets chicken in a billion different ways, with cabbage in a billion different ways, because that's what I will kind of eat, but I won't even eat the chicken. If anything, yeah, I mean, I'll make, you know, some pasta, and I'm fine with pasta, but I don't even eat a lot of it. All right. Okay, you guys have a good one. Thank you so much for listening. Keep drinking the juice, because you know what? You want to stop racing against time. Some of you are way up against time and you're wondering it's going to happen any day now. You're not going to have that with Jilly Juice. You're not going to have that. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.